Greetings once again, pilgrims, and welcome back to the Polygon Pilgrimage. Today we are here for episode 22. This is True 3D Portfolio. Now, I know if you're like me, any other 3D artist, you've always wanted to have your models on the web, live, 3D rotating, looking as gorgeous as they possibly can. Am I right? Well, I found a way to do it. Here's a great site that I wanted to share with you. This is p3d.in, and they offer exactly that. And did I mention that it's free? Now, I've done some research here, and some people say, well, I heard about Sketchfab, this other website. I did look into both P3D and Sketchfab pretty extensively, and I have come up that P3D is the winner, in my opinion. It has a couple things that are a leg up. One is that it loads a whole lot faster. It's very smooth. As you can see, their logo here is rotating pretty well, even with Fraps running. If I turn Fraps off, this thing is spinning much smoother. And it's a lot more responsive, and you have a whole lot better support on the back end in the coding world to make this kind of thing happen. So let me go ahead and show you how you would register if you're interested in registering for this site. We click here on the Take the Tour and Sign Up button. And here you can see some of the things that I was talking about. There's some quotes here saying this really helps us out, and it really does. You can keep your site full 3D on the web. There is a lot of portability here with the ability to embed, and we'll go over that a little bit later. And guys, they support shaders. We've got diffuse, normals, specular, AO, and opacity. Just incredible. So your models can look like they should. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of development going on, and there's a lot of coders behind us to make sure that this looks as best as it can on the web. So if you're interested in signing up, you just click here at the bottom, say, awesome enough, hell yeah. Click that button, and here you'll just go ahead and fill in your regular stuff, username, email, etc., and you're ready to go. So I'm going to pause the recording here for a moment and get set up. I'm going to log into my account, and we're going to go over some of the settings, and we're even going to upload a model, and I'll show you how to do it. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, so here we are into my account, and you can see most of the models here that I've done for imaginary games, as I've mentioned. So we're going to take one model as an example. This is one of my favorites, the VTOL coffin. So you'll see it here loading, and it supports all the textures and everything, so he looks awesome on the web. Now I'll go over some of the controls for you here. To rotate the model, you just click and drag as you would naturally expect. To zoom in and out, I'm going to wheel mouse in and out to zoom in and out. And if I need to move the model on the page, if I zoom in too far and I want to recenter him, I right click and hold, and I can drag and move him around. Now again, with Fraps running, this is a little slow, but I promise you this is super fast without Fraps running. It's just phenomenal. Now on the left here, we have our navigation controls. Navigation as well as our shader controls, subdivision, rotation, and embedding. So one at a time here. I'll go to the shader selection, and you can choose to view this in a variety of ways. The default here is the smooth. This is what I call full presentation. I can also choose to view it with a wireframe over top. I can do a shaderless, which is like a flat view for those of you who do texture work. I can do a flat plus wireframe. There is a clean, which is just the model grayscale. This is kind of how I see it as I model it. Then we have wires on top of that. There is an X-ray mode, which for some reason with this model, I don't understand why, I can't see through in X-ray mode until I do X-ray plus wireframe. Now I can see through them. It's a little strange. And then there is just wireframe if you'd like to see just the wireframe of the model. The options here do support subdivision. So if I were to click on the subdivision button here, you'll see that it will get all smooth, and some of these things start to look crappy because this model is not designed to be subdivided. But it does support that, so if you have models that are, you can just click that button. There is a auto rotation spin button. You click that and it will just spin all by itself, hands off. I do wish there was an option that you could set this with a speed, because it goes one speed all the time. But again, with Fraps off, this is a whole lot smoother, and it's just nice to have this as a default so people can see the model rotating. They don't have to even touch it. Then we have our navigation button. All this does is remind you of the keys here, and you can use the WASD as well. And then we have our embedding options here, and the embedding is really incredible. If you choose to upgrade your account to one of the paid accounts, You get the ability to hide the controls from the side. So you can set up, the spinning with wireframe on, don't touch it, this is how I want you to see it. Or you can let people play with the controls. And then you have all these embedding options where you can just copy paste these. And I do this all the time, send it to somebody in a private chat and say, hey, can you check this model out, tell me what you think. So super, super easy, really couldn't be easier. So let's take a small break here and we're going to go into how we upload a model, and I have a sample from the house project and we're going to upload it together and we'll go over the settings. Alright, see you in a moment. Alright, so we've seen the models, we know how they work. Now, how do I get my models uploaded? Well, here we go. If I go up here, the second button in here is upload a new model. Let's go ahead and click that guy. Feed us your polygons. It's awesome. Alright, so we're going to give this a name. Polygon Pilgrimage, episode 22, and we are uploading a lantern. Lantern. So, all you do is click File, Browse, and Choose. That's it. So I'm going to click Mesh, click Mesh, and I'm going to choose this OBJ. Everything is in OBJ, which is great because it's kind of a universal format. So there we go. Click Open. And you'll see at the bottom here, it will give a progress bar. I've done this once before, so I think it's cached. But here's the model right here. I can start rotating it around. So this is a lantern that's on the steps outside for the house project. This guy has not yet been unwrapped or painted, so that's why he's gray. But here, if he were unwrapped and painted, just like the other models, you just click File, Choose, and you can choose your diffuse texture, your specular, normal, and AO. There is an opacity one coming. I don't think it's here yet. So I can also set my intensity and glossiness for the specular map, and you can start to see some of the inbuilt lighting here on the top. I can change some of these options, and there we go. You can really see. So this is great if you have metal objects, robots, you want to make sure that it's all set. For some of my stuff, it's been kind of game art and they've been environments, so I've been putting these pretty low. But play around with it, see what you like. You can set your normal and ambient inclusion, and you do have a checkbox here for double-sided textures. When you're happy with it, you just click Upload, and here you'll see the percentage, 100%. Wait for it to say Upload Complete. Now we can click back to our account, click here, and we see it added to the list. But what's this? It looks like an alarm bell or something. It doesn't look like a lantern. It's at a bad angle. So let's fix it. So we go in, I'm going to click that, and basically we have to tell it what the orientation is, because P3D doesn't know the same orientation that it came out of, say, Max from. That's no biggie. Up here, second button down, Model Settings, I'm going to click that, and here we can fix the orientation. So all I have to do is click the up button once, rotate up, there he is, and click Save. Now this, again, it'll say 100%, wait till it says Changes Saved. Now let's go back, and now it appears as it should, because this is the page people are going to see if they go to P3D and find your account. So now when I click this, because he has the proper orientation, if I click the auto rotate button, haven't touched anything else, there, it's rotating just fine. Now again, this guy's symmetrical on 4 sides, so of course not that exciting to see him rotate, but your other monsters, whatever you create, it'll be great to see this rotate. Now one last thing about the embedding I wanted to go over quickly is with the embedding options, like I said, you can put it into any site. So here's a little sneak preview of my site. I've been revamping it. You'll see at the bottom here, I'm getting rid of all this stuff at the bottom to make room for the model viewer is going to be full screen to the bottom here. So here's the coffin that we saw earlier, and here he is live on the web. This is my website. It's not finished yet, so it won't work if you go to it, but I can click any other model and say, hey, I want to see these. I'm going to have my top 6 at all times at the top here, and I can just zoom in and I can look at all these models and see how great they look live on the web. I can show it to people. Images are great, but it's so much better if you can just show them a full 3D model, and it loads in seconds, you guys. It's so quick. Even this model, look at how many different parts it has, and it's loaded. And the only reason it's choppy right now is because of wraps. So I encourage you guys, check out this site. You are going to love it. And if you have any questions about it, if you need a more in-depth tutorial or any of the nuances, don't be afraid to send me an email. I'll be happy to help you out. And in the meantime, enjoy the quote at the bottom of the page. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm really happy to be back and at it, and we're going to have some exciting stuff coming up soon. So keep at it, keep practicing, get better, and I'll see you next time as the pilgrimage continues.